Okay, so I'm just doing a basic video covering the new changes that might go in with the next update. They're going to be changing S grade mythics from what I'm hearing. One of my trading buddies that's more in the know than I am told me that the paid mythics are going to be changing. So the S grade idols for paid mythics will be added to base mythics. So something like my Divine Shadow, if I take off dual wield, I'll have the idol of the S grade. I would just re-enchant it to Flame 3, or if I had it clean, I would get the idol. But if they go through with that, it's going to be a bit of an odd change because they're going to kill the market for a lot of these. If people just want the idols, which I don't know how many people buy S grades for idols and how many buy it to flex and all that. The one way they're compensating people for giving the idols from S grades to base items is they're going to be adding perks to S grades. We have no idea what the perks are. We have no idea if they're overpowered, pay to win, worthless, uh, could even be a hindrance. It's possible, but we have no idea how it's going to change. But the items that will be affected, it might be champ and Aegis. It depends if they view ranked as different than paid. Because off of like champ, there's very few champions in the game. So expecting people to get 60 of the item to make an S grade is kind of ridiculous. So I'd imagine that they eventually add the idols to these two, because honestly they should. The people that are patient enough to grind rank should have a cool item. I don't think it's unreasonable to say that, because I don't think anyone has S champ. I've seen maybe two Diamond Aegis S grades, and that's it. But the items that are guaranteed going to be counted as paid mythics would be Cyber Divine, and then it should be Eclipse 3, 4, and X. But there's a chance that they consider this a crafted mythic, so they don't include it. But this has just the base Scythe idol, so it's not special. You aren't missing out on anything. The idol's pretty basic for this. But Elf will be included, Enigma would be included, Chaos would be. Protectors from the Kilo Game Pass, so it's kind of up in the air whether they'd count it as a paid mythic. It technically is, but it's kind of hard to say what they'll do with it, just because it's not a standard paid mythic. They should probably just add the idol to the base version, but we'll see. Then Nutcracker will be included, Winter will be included, and that's it. So Amethyst, like all the gem pack mythics, like Oblivion, Inferno, Spirit, Mech, none of those packs will be included. It'll only be paid ones. I think they'd be smart to eventually add um, the idols for the non-paid, but I think if they go through with it the way that at least I've heard they're going to, people are going to panic sell the S paid items. Like Divine is going to dip super hard because everyone just got the idol on the basic weapon. So why do you ever want the S grade? The S grade loses all of its uniqueness. Because I don't think people care about the purple aura. The stance is why I got an S grade. I think why most people get S grades. And most of the time when I talk with people in trading about S grades, we talk about the stance. We don't talk about how good the purple aura looks or the purple glow looks. So I don't want to say aura to confuse with the added auras, but I think it's just very. It's a big change that's very risky, and I guess the upside is they want all of the single mythics to climb in value and be more special, but I think it's a big risk to all the big traders, which I think it'd be smart for them to not balance it around the big traders at this point. They kind of need to make it more mainstream. Same global I think was added mostly because they could make more money off of the game, but it's hard to say. If they add global and they change it so all the mythics get their idols, this game gets a lot more mainstream again, and I think it starts going back in the right direction as far as making trading and the items geared toward most people. But it's kind of hard to say how they'll do it. If the perks are overpowered, same, ranked is going to be dominated by people that spends a lot of gems or a lot of time in trading, which I don't know if they really want the game dominated by whales, because if they introduce pay to win perks to the S grades, it's going to be kind of scary to see how that affects trading. I mean, I have an S grade, but I don't think it's a good idea for them to add something really strong to this. I was joking with my friends when we first heard about this change of for Toro Kai on the fire side, if they gave this a 50% cooldown for the fireball and added a second fireball to that ability, it would be stupidly broken because you could one shot someone if both fireballs hit and then the basic ball hit. It would be funny, but if they add overpowered perks like that, they're going to make a lot of people quit. And I think the perception of the game and the devs is going to go downhill a lot if they go through with something overpowered like that. So they need to be really careful what they do with the perks. If they just add the S grade idols to all of the mythics, I think the community would be very happy because people really want the animations. If if you start making it so even stuff like CSB, Spirit, Elf have idols, new players will be a lot happier because they can get into a cool mythic way sooner. And I think people will start being more excited to get weapons again because right now it's getting a little bland for people. Usually they get whatever dual wield they want and then they're kind of done. If they start adding idols, then you're going to have people that like dual wield and you're going to have people that like the idols. It's going to be two different types of players, and then there's a lot more personality. Because if I can have choose between this animation where I can spin like a Beyblade or the like super edgy idol that I showed in the video, there's going to be two different types of players that like this weapon then. The really edgy ones are going to want the idol, and the people that just like the spinny Beyblade and kind of the more silly ones are probably just going to stick with dual wield. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how they change it. I just think they need to be really careful how they do it. But that's all. Hope it helps, and I hope you just keep it in mind when you're trading. But have a good one.